Welcome to We Go Live. In just a minute, his and hers we take a dish on. But tonight I got a story I can't keep hidden. Used to live under bright white glare, perfect hair, perfect questions in the air. Then I blinked and the crowd moved on. Packed up my voice and I stayed gone. Quiet walls, learned my every side. Coffee in the dark, just watching time slide. Thought I buried every headline deep till your name cut through my sleep. Back to Dollar Maker, where the whispers never fade. Every gravel road remembers what we're scared to say. I walked away from the world, from the camera, from the crime, but the truth keeps calling me back this time. Back to Dollar Maker, where we bury more than bones. I can hear the story breathing underneath these stones. Old courthouse, leaning like it knows who got hurt and who still won't show. Half remember faces at the store, turning down the aisle like they've seen this all before. You and me, we left some things unnamed. Every glance felt like gasoline and flame. Professional distance, personal ache, I can't tell which one I can't break. Back to Dollar Maker, where the whispers never fade. Every gravel road remembers what we're scared to say. I walked away from the world, from the camera, from the crime, but the truth keeps calling me back this time. Back to Dollar Maker, where we bury more than bones. I can hear the story breathing underneath these stones. Layers on layers, silence and smoke. Who gets protected? Who ends up broke? Oh, I thought I retired from taking that risk, but my name still echoes in the way they twist us. Back to Dollar Maker, whispers never fade. Let the line break. Well,
Hey, okay. What's up? What's up? Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's your girl, Tika Deshawn, right here at All Things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts. And today, we're just going to do an episode recap of the latest Netflix series. It's called His and Hers, and it's starring Tessa Thompson, and it's crazy. I'm watching it week by week, so I know many people have already discussed the full season, the full mini series. I know there's a lot of people that have already discussed it. If you're looking for spoilers or full reactions, full discussions, I know my girl EJ, the TV junkie, has done it. I think K Bly Slice of Horror has done it. I think Tamika's Den, maybe Monique 69 Waves, Candy Love. I know a lot of the ladies. Even Vacay J has done it. So if y'all looking for a full series recaps, y'all head over to my friends' channels and y'all can see the full recaps. But what I'm doing over here is just going to be a week to week basis, a week to week episode recap. So today we're only going to dive into episode 1. And I'm here for all the shenanigans. For those of you that don't know what His and Her is, I'm going to give you guys a brief description in just a second. Let me see who I got checking in. Hey, Demetria Richburg. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Have you watched this already? Have you watched this Netflix series, His and Hers? starring Tessa Thompson. Let me know. Let me know if you've already watched it. I'm just literally going episode to episode, meaning I have not watched the full series yet. I've only watched the first episode. Okay, so you already locked in. You already know what's going on. So your girl Tika might sound a little clueless. So I'm starting from the first episode today. I'm just gonna talk about the first episode. And I know it's only 6 episodes, and I know some people out there saying, "Well, dang, Tika, it's only 6 episodes. Why haven't you watched it yet?" I got other stuff to do, so I try to get in whatever I can get in, and go from there. But I mean, from what I've been hearing, it's really, really good. Um, Tessa Thompson is one of my favorite actresses, even though I forgot her name in the beginning. But she's really a great actress. I really loved her in Creed, and so many more other projects. But she portrays a character by the name of Anna Andrews. And then we've got John Bernthal, who portrays Jack Harper, which we find out later on is Anna's ex-husband. Also known, I call him the Punisher because every time I see him, I just remember him being in the series The Punisher. So yeah, so we're gonna find out why how these two, other than being married, how they're actually connected. Okay, so let me read the description for you guys. Um, a journalist investigating a murder in her hometown clashes with a suspicious detective. There are two sides to every story, and someone is lying. And just looking at episode one, there's definitely some lying going on. And and I was just like, wait a minute, who can I believe already? Like, why does she look suspicious already? So, with that being said, the episode starts off where there's literally some woman off in the woods laying on the hood of a car. Why is she there? We don't know. But then we move forward and we see this suspicious person literally walking down the hallway. And of course, me, I'm like, well, who is that walking down the hallway? Well, once she gets into the apartment, we see it's Anna, aka Tessa Thompson. We see it, and she has on this hood, she has on these boots, these shoes. She looks like she's been out in the rain. So I'm like, girl, where you been? I hope, like in my mind, I'm already thinking that she's been at that scene of the crime. However, we find out that she lives in Atlanta, and the place where the crime happens is actually in the Dahlonega. Dahlonega, I think that's how they explain it. Dahlonega, Georgia. Now, of course, I'm in Georgia, and I've seen that word many times. I've passed by that word, Dahlonega, many times. I've never been to the town, but I never knew how to pronounce it. And if I'm messing it up today, it is, what it is. But the town was Dahlonega, okay? And so we see her, and she's drinking, and then we look down and she's got these muddy shoes on. And I'm just like, okay, where you been? Like, where have you really been? And so we see she's looking, checking herself out in the mirror, looking like she got a swollen tooth, like an abscess tooth, like she's got a really bad toothache or something has happened. I don't know why, but she's just giving like she just been somewhere she had no business being. So we see she got all these articles, she's got all this paper and stuff that she throws in a trash bag, and she's going to throw that stuff out into a bigger trash bin. But in the meantime, we see that on the side of this is this news reporter that keeps popping up. We keep seeing this news reporter everywhere. If it's not on TV, it's on a billboard. Like, this news reporter keeps popping up everywhere. So then we fast forward over to Jack. Now, we noticed already right off back that Jack seems like, I guess this is his daughter. But it seems like Jack is a single parent. And then he also, he's there. Not only is he a single parent, but he's there. And I can only assume, because right in the beginning, they don't tell us who these characters are. So I can only assume that the little girl is Jack's daughter, or maybe his niece, and then this is her mom. But it seems like Jack is more attentive to the little girl. So it seems like the little girl is Jack's child, and then maybe the lady that's in the picture is the sister. Like they kind of look similar. They look like they're giving like sisters, sister and brother, and neither one of them look like the little girl. So number one, where does this little girl come from? And number two, is this his drunk sister that he's leaving responsible for his child? Okay, just questions I had that I first when I initially saw, these three interact. Then we see Jack and he's on his way to he's at work. His phone is dying. For some reason, he can't get his phone charged up. It looks dead. That was another thing that we noticed with Anna. Like her phone was dead too. So what was she doing in the middle of nowhere where her phone wouldn't charge up? We also saw Anna's place. It was like a real hot mess. So anyway, we also meet Priya, which is his coworker. And of course, right off the bat, she's bringing him some coffee or something to drink, to help him get the day started. And she's saying, I've been texting you all day, all night. You haven't answered any messages. And so, he's like, well, what's the problem? She says, well, there's been an unalivement and we need to go, go to the scene of the crime. And so this whole time, he's just kind of clueless as to what's going on. But then, he's talking her through because she seems like she's a new detective, new to this whole job, crime investigating situation. And he's the one that's just like giving her keys as to how she should be moving, how she should be investigating, saying that this is a small town, things don't really happen here. So this is clearly something major for us to have a body. Okay, so again, we see this lady on the wall, and we find out that her name is actually Ashley. I think it's Ashley, and she's a news reporter as well. And so on that, it's either Ashley or Alice. Y'all, I know it starts with A, but she's that popular reporter that Anna, Anna used to once be that popular reporter, but because Anna has been gone for over a year, when she goes back to work, her badge doesn't work. And so she has to get the security guy to update her badge so that she can go in. We find out again that she has been gone for over a year, but she also runs into this lady right here, this one who has literally taken her spot. And it's just like, hey, how you doing? Like casually, not really speaking to her. I think her name is Lexi. It's Lexi Jones. But she's just like casually, but not so casually speaking to her, even though she's pretty much obsessed with the fact that Lexi basically took her job. Like Lexi, because Lexi was a substitute reporter or journalist, and because Anna was gone for a whole year, they had to fill in her spot. Somebody else had to take her spot. And of course, she goes back to her boss and is like, hey, I'm back. I'm ready to get back to work. And he's saying, well, we kind of gave your spot away. So she convinces him to allow her to take this big case, to go into Dahlonega, which is the place where she is from, and investigate this case because it seems like something big has happened. Now, she never mentions that it's been a murder. She just knows that a body has been found. Of course, she's getting text messages that's telling her, some inside information about, some big stuff that has actually happened. And so she's there, she's getting herself back into the door. She also asks, can she take Lexi's husband as her cameraman? So Anna is a slick one, y'all. That was my perspective of her from the first 10 to 15, if 15 minutes of this first episode. She's a slick one, but she gets what she wants. She's able to get back in the door and start back working on working her way into becoming this big and popular reporter that she once was. Hey, Miss Kira, thank you for tapping in. Yeah, Alexis. Okay. Hey, Miss Kira, and they call her Lexi. Well, Alexis. Yeah. Yep. Lexi Jones got her job taken. got her job taken. Well, Anna's trying to take the job. So anyway, we move out to this whole scene where this is where that body is. And on that body, it says something about fake or um it was just the body was out there. Police were all over the place, swarming all over the place in the way. And so this is who it is. She's laid out. We don't, as an audience, you don't know the person's name just yet. So we keep watching, and then of course Jack is on the scene. Now he's telling Priya to go and do just basically go do crowd control. Like you should also make sure that we got a perimeter set up. And when she goes to do crowd control and go and talk to the reporters and everybody, she's not as successful as he is. Of course, we see Anna. She and Lexi's husband are setting up to go and be reporters. You know, they're going to do the job, and she's telling him, "You're gonna keep the camera rolling." They introduce each other because this is their first time meeting. I feel like at this very moment, Anna already has some false intentions with Lexi's husband. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But Priya is over there. She's doing her best to try to control the crowd, trying to control the other reporters, trying to get them to move to the other side where the new perimeter is supposed to be set up. And it's not working. The people are not really listening to her. They're kind of overpowering her verbally with conversation and questions that she can't answer any questions right now. She don't have any answers to really give them. And so finally Jack walks up, and now he has control. He is literally did the crowd control. He has instructed or asked the people to move over to a different area, which makes Priya kind of look bad, as if she's incompetent and doesn't really know how to do her job. But I mean, he could have literally did that in the first place. Like, he could have, instead of sending her when she's trying to go and investigate the actual perimeter so that she doesn't miss anything, he's sending her to go mess with the crowd, when in actuality he literally could have done that. He knows that, he knows that the crowd will probably have a little more respect for him versus her, because he's a seasoned officer. Like, they're familiar with him. But anyway, I just thought that was shady of Jack to do that. And of course, in the audience is Anna, and Anna says, "How do you know the victim?" Or how do you know the victim? And everybody, I mean, Jack is looking like, basically, who said that, but he knows who it is, because we find out later on that they were actually married. Anna and Jack were actually married. So then we see Anna after the crowd has moved on, and after she has thrown that little question in there, put that little doubt or that little question in everybody's mind. Anna and Mr. Jones over here, literally, they go to breakfast, and then they have breakfast. But then after breakfast, y'all, let's just say it went down. It went down a little farther than what it should have gone. Um, but we'll get more into that. We find out that, Jack is like, okay, what is she doing here? Where is she? So he ends up tracking her down at this hotel, or this bed and breakfast. He convinces the lady at the desk to tell what room she's actually in. She's in room 5. He goes upstairs and catches her in a very compromising position. Okay. I'm like, Anna, you just met the dude, and this is what we're doing? Like, really, Anna? Anna is a lot, y'all. Already in episode 1, I can tell that Anna is a hot behind mess. Already, she's got issues clearly beyond my comprehension, at least on this very first episode. So she's in there basically getting it in with Alexis Jones's husband, okay? So he sees all of this. He can hear it from the other side of the door. And so he finally, after banging, hard on the door, he finally decides that he's going to leave. He walks down the stairs, and then she ends up peeking out the door and sees that it's him. So she hurries up, gets back dressed. And then in that time, I'm thinking she's running to actually go and talk to him. But in actuality, she's running to go somewhere else. But she calls back and lets the chief reporter know, hey, I got a story for you. I know I got some information that's going to be definitely worth, reporting. And can I get a slot? So he's telling her, yeah, you can get the 6 o'clock slot. So after she does all of that, she makes her way to this house literally in the middle of nowhere. She walks into this house and there's this lady that's sitting in a chair and she's laying there and her mouth is open. And I'm like, is she gone? Like, is she up out of there? So Anna ends up checking her pulse and she ends up waking her up. So we find out that this lady right here, y'all, is Anna's mother by the name of Alice. She wakes up, she's shocked to see her. She recognizes her daughter. So then Jack makes his way to the house. He goes in, he does the normal routine that he normally does with Anna's mother. He takes out her trash, he gets rid of all fruit. Clearly, something is going on with Miss Alice's mind. Seems like she's going through some onset early dementia. And Jack, being the ex-husband, is familiar with the mother, and the mother, Miss Alice, is also familiar with Jack. So this is how he's able to get in and out of her home, and kind of help her from time to time. But Anna was surprised because Jack came in. Well, Miss Alice left out of the room, and then she came back in, and she forgot that Jack had even came there. And she asked him like multiple times, "Do you want me to make you some coffee?" And Jack always likes coffee. Like, she forgot that she had just had a whole conversation with him, and it's like starting all over again. So unfortunately, we can tell for now that there's some type of dementia going on with Miss Alice. So outside, the conversation gets crazy. Definitely is strange. I know husband, but at the end of the day, he could be estranged, but at the end of the day, husband, wife, they was married once upon a time. So they still married or divorced, whatever, they still married. So anyway, she finds out, after having this conversation, not only, and see, this is a problem with Jack. Jack is a little too trusting of Anna because Jack has revealed some information that should not have been revealed. He reveals that one of her friends, is the individual that has been unalive, but he's telling her not to report anything, don't say anything, because he hasn't, the husband hasn't been made aware. The husband has been, and it's Rachel. So don't, basically, she and Rachel were friends coming up, but you can't say anything because, again, the family is not aware that Rachel is unalive. We got to get to the family first before the news start reporting everything. And so Anna, she's reminiscing and all this stuff and going through, going through tapes and looking at old videos. And she sees this box of videos, and she opens it up. And then she also finds a camera, one of the old camcorders that she can go back and, review some of these tapes that she has. And she sees her younger self, she sees her friends, she sees Rachel is in these images, just her doing one of her birthday celebrations. So then we see Jack, and Jack is making his way to the coroner's office and the morgue. And so he goes inside, and she says, well, it's a lot of this woman was unalive, but there was also some semen found on the scene, found in her body. And so Jack is kind of acting a little suspicious too. At this point, everybody is guilty to me. I can't trust anybody in this at this point. But Jack is acting a little like, okay, kind of like walking around the subject and what actually happened to her. And then also we find out that, Rachel, this woman, she was stabbed to death. Like, she was literally poked to death with a paring knife. And so this is why she has multiple wounds on her, over 40 puncture wounds on her body. And so something like that, to me, y'all, looks like a crime of passion. But I'm just gonna keep on going. I'm gonna keep on going because I don't know what's gonna happen on the end. I don't know what happened at the end. So anyway, we see again, like the coroner, like I said, she's just telling him what's going on, and she wants them to come back. She wants them to give a DNA sample so that she can kind of eliminate everybody that was there at the scene of the crime. She want to eliminate everybody. But Jack was like, okay, well, we can come back tomorrow. I got a feeling that semen belonged to Jack, and I'm gonna tell y'all why at the end. But she also goes into Rachel's mouth and she pulls out this bracelet. Now, simultaneously, as she's pulling out pulling out this bracelet out of Rachel's mouth, Anna is holding up that same bracelet. So this clearly lets me know that Anna and this girl on this table, which is Rachel, are connected some type of way. Friends, high school friends, middle school friends, they are connected. And so I'm still wondering, Anna, what do you have up your sleeves, honey? Like, what is going on? So again, she got on that phone call, and so they go over to. She got on the phone call again, like I said, y'all, to let her supervisor know, hey, I got a real good story. It's ready. And so she tells old boy Jones to meet her around 5-6 o'clock so that they can go ahead and do what they're going to do as far as reporting this whole story. But they go to Rachel's home where her husband is. Clearly, somebody is looking out the window. However, nobody is answering the door. Like, it's a whole car there. You can see from this vantage point that someone is looking out the window, but nobody is opening the door. So then we go back, and Jack was supposed to go home, take his baby girl to soccer practice. However, because he was wrapped up in this whole case, he forgot to take his baby girl to practice. And the sister or whoever this woman is that's watching the baby girl, she really wasn't planning on taking her to practice, which is why Jack had to be the one to take her to practice. She said she had plans with her friends. And so again, Jack has unfortunately let his baby girl down by not taking her to practice, but baby girl is sleeping right now. So we'll see if on the next episode, if baby girl ends up being in her feelings about this whole situation. But we see on the news that Anna has gotten up before God and everybody else in the world, excuse me, and has made the announcement that the woman who is unalive, the body that they found, is Rachel. Now, you, Anna, are wrong for this. You were supposed to keep this between you and Jack. Jack loved you enough to confide in you, and you told that man's business. So what's the deal? Are you trying to destroy Jack for some reason? Are you trying to, expose him? Like, what is going on? What is going on? Why would you do this? Why would you get out in front of the public and report this information? And she does it with a big old happy smile on her face. At the end of the day, she wants her spot back. She wants her spot back working on that whole news. No, I haven't watched the whole series yet. That's why it say His and Hers, season 1, episode 1 recap. Nope, I haven't watched it, but I did refer for everybody who already watched it or wants to, hear recaps from everybody that has watched the whole thing. You have to you can go over to the other channels. I think I said your name is Kira. I don't know if you did a recap with them, but I know EJ did it, K Bly did it, K Slice of Horror did it. I think Candy did it. Monique 69 Waves, Jay did it. So if Miss Kira did it, y'all can check her channel out too to see the whole episode, to see the full recap. And Demetria, because I have like 1,001 things going on. That's the only reason I can stop at the first episode. But I heard it's pretty good. And I'm gonna I just got to do it week by week because I literally have a calendar of things that I do. I literally have a calendar. So if unfortunately this series is only allowing me an hour of my time plus to recap it, to go live and recap it is quicker than me actually doing it, like creating a whole video of doing it. So it just depends on how much time I have. But yeah, my time, I'm like, I don't have time to sit and watch the full one. I gotta go watch Bridgerton. to recap. It's a lot, especially when you're managing 2 channels. Yeah, so that's why, that's the only way I'm able to stop at one episode and go, week by week I'll watch a new episode. So yeah. So y'all check out Miss Kira too. She was on the panel with Monique and the gang. Okay, so Miss Kira speaks. Okay, so let's see. I think I got one more slide to this one. So then, as Anna is looking down that road where that car is, we see a flashback, and we see the car. And then we see the inside of another car, what looks like a car or a truck. And then inside that car and that truck, we see Rachel and Jack, which is why he didn't want to give the DNA. Oh, shoot. And then we see Anna standing outside of the truck. But how the heck? I need to do a GPS. I need to map how far is Dahlonega from Atlanta, because honey, you supposed to live in Atlanta, Georgia, and you are the way in Dahlonega, Georgia. So let me do my GPS right quick. I need to see how far Dahlonega. It might not be that far, because I think Dahlonega is like going towards either North Carolina or Tennessee. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Atlanta to Dahlonega. Atlanta to Dahlonega, or Dahlonega to Atlanta. DAH. Okay, so it's only like an hour and 19 minutes. So she could very well have really, really been the person in the woods that may have taken out. Oh my God, she may have taken out Rachel, y'all. I don't know. But that was the end of the very first episode. His and Hers, season 1, episode 1. Yeah, it's definitely a real town. It's definitely a real town. It's actually it's actually going towards North Carolina, Miss Kira. So if you're going, I don't know if you've ever been to Atlanta, but if you're going, say you're going to, I think Charlotte, North Carolina would be one of the biggest cities that you could recognize in North Carolina. If you're going on the highway, which is 85, that takes you to Charlotte, North Carolina, you'll see Dahlonega. You'll see that. But anyway, yeah, so it's a real city. But this episode was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I'm here for it. I know I'm gonna have to go. I'll watch it the day before, then I'll recap it. I don't know. I may do a video, the next video review, but it just depends on how much time I have. But with that being said, I just want to thank you ladies for coming through, engaging with me as I discussed His and Hers season 1, episode 1. Again, if you guys have already seen the full episodes, I absolutely recommend heading over to Miss Kira, Monique, VKJ, K-Bly, Slice of Horror, EJ, TV Junkie, I think Tamika's Den, heading on over there to all the ladies, all the gentlemen's channels. I think Lawrence, I think he did it as well. So y'all head on over and check out the full recap if you've already seen it. Check out the full discussion. Again, I will be back next Saturday at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to discuss His and Hers season 1, episode number 2. So y'all stay locked in, and I'll be back. And then for tomorrow night, y'all make sure y'all come back for the book club, Cousin Curtis Bounty Hunter. We will be doing a live recap, live discussion. I'm not sure if Ben Stevens, writer of or author of this book, Curtis Duncan Bounty Hunter, will be in the building. But even if he's not there, y'all please come on through. Definitely head over to Talk the Talk Media. It's the other channel that EJ and I go hard for. So please, Talk That Talk Media, head on over there, hit that subscribe button. For those of you that are already subscribed, we absolutely appreciate you. With that being said, y'all, your girl is up out here. Thank y'all, and have an amazing rest of your day. Peace. Thank you, ladies.
We go live. In just a minute, his and hers. We take a dish on. But tonight I got a story I can't keep hidden. Used to live under bright white glare, perfect hair, perfect questions in the air. Then I blinked and the crowd moved on. Packed up my voice and I stayed going. Quiet walls, learn my every side. Coffee in the dark, just watching time slide. Thought I buried every headline deep till your name cut through my sleep. Back to Dollar Maker, where the whispers never fade. Every gravel road remembers what we're scared to say. I walked away from the world, from the camera, from the crime, but the truth keeps calling me back this time. Back to Dollar Maker, where we bury more than bones. I can hear the story breathing underneath these stones. Old courthouse, leaning like it knows who got hurt and who still won't show. Half remember faces at the store, turning down the aisle like they've seen this all before. You and me, we left some things unnamed. Every glance felt like gasoline and flame. Professional distance, personal ache, I can't tell which one I can't break. Back to Dollar Maker, where the whispers never fade. Every gravel road remembers what we're scared to say. I walked away from the world, from the camera, from the crime, but the truth keeps calling me back this time. Back to Dollar Maker, where we bury more than bones. I can hear the story breathing underneath these stones. Layers
down the plot, sharp like a knife, unpacking the moments that bring stories to life. In all things ruthless, it's about you. You should follow us and see it through.